Gentlemen, to the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500 at Martinsville Speedway. This should be a night race at Martinsville. I don't think it's going to be, simply because I don't think the game has it registered for whatever reason quite yet. But nevertheless, we're here. Second race of the round of 8 here today for the chase parade for Jimmy Johnson. Johnson coming off a win yesterday at Phoenix to lock himself into the championship four. No pressure for Jimmy at Martinsville today and at Talladega in the next race for the Cup Series before the championship race at Darlington. So as the pressure's off, he's going to go for another career victory. If he wins these last 3 races of the season to win the championship, he will match for second all-time on the NASCAR Cup Series wins list with David Pearson at 105. So Jimmy still has that going for him this year. Just 2 wins in the first 7 playoff races. Excuse me, but we will see what will happen here today as we get into quick qualifying for today's race. One lap here for Jimmy Johnson to try and set his quick time for Martinsville. Tiptoed it around 3 and 4 on that warm-up lap. He's a little tight off of turn 2, and he kind of slaps the wall with the right rear. Turns 3 and 4 a lot better, but all that time was lost in turns 1 and 2. 20.271, 20th is where Johnson will qualify for today's race. And the pole time, 19.539. Your pole sitter for today's race is William Byron. So Byron on the pole today. Truex will be starting outside pole in second. And the first playoff driver in qualifying is Joey Logano in 5th. Ryan Newman in 7th, it looks like here. Bowman 8th. Hamlin 9th. Kyle Busch 11th. Brad Keselowski 17th. Of course, Johnson 48 car in 20th, and Clint Boyer was last of the round of 8 drivers, qualifying 24th despite having a decent run yesterday at Phoenix. Very topsy-turvy. Called 88, welcome to the stream. You're not late at all here. Looks like we'll be starting 19th. We got 1 driver going to the rear of the field, so we'll take a look at the point standings before we get into this race. The point standings coming into the day. Jimmy Johnson again is clinched with a win at Phoenix yesterday. A thriller nonetheless. We'll see if we'll have another one here today. Joey Logano, or sorry, not Joey Logano. Denny Hamlin is sitting second right now in the standings. He's 11 points ahead of the cut line on Joey Logano. Kyle Busch comes in 3rd in the standings right now. He's 8 points ahead of Logano on the cut line, and Ryan Newman fills out that 4th and final spot in the playoffs right now. He is 6 points ahead of Joey Logano. So Logano 6 points behind the cutoff line right now. First driver out. The second driver out, just 1 point behind him, is Boyer, so he's 7 points out. Keselowski is also just barely behind Boyer by 1 point, so he is 8 points behind the cut line, and 5 points behind him is Alex Bowman after a terrible 27th place finish at Phoenix. Alex Bowman, with 2 wins on the season right now, is sitting 13 points below the cutoff line. So we'll look for more drama today. Talladega is the final race of the round of 8, so these guys are going to be looking for a win here in this one to advance. Jackson Thomas, Garrett Master 2000, welcome to the stream. And here we go. Without further ado, we're going to hop into this race. William Byron looking for career win number 1 after qualifying on the pole. Matt DiBenedetto will be starting at the rear here today, and Bubba Wallace might surprise some people. He looks like he has a fast car for today's race. Pretty good short track racer. Alistair Moore, welcome to the stream. Bubba also has a win at Martinsville in the Truck Series. Green flag in the air, and we are underway at Martinsville for the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500. 3 wide already into the first turn on the inside. Johnson trying to pick up as many spots as he can right out of the gate here. A little side draft as much as he can, trying to stay to the inside of the 2 of Keselowski. Gaining a couple spots on the opening lap of the race. That's the way Johnson has to get it to work here. big hop off the curb into turn 1. Lap 1 led by William Byron, the pole sitter for today's race. Had a great initial start. Keselowski really wants to clear Johnson. Ryan Preece is kind of holding him up. He can't quite clear Jimmy and get to the inside. Johnson drove it in deep. Now he's going to try to get to the inside of Ryan Preece himself here. Johnson moving on up. He didn't have a great qualifying lap. He kind of hit the wall just slightly off of turn 2. Got back in the gas a little too soon there. Costed his qualifying time. Now he clears Preece for 15. So he's gained 5 spots in the first 3 laps of the race. Jimmy DNF'd in the regular season race at Martinsville, although he has a decent amount of career wins here. Never know what could happen. Man, he really loose getting on the brakes into 3 that time. Christopher Bell all over his back bumper. Blaney going for Kyle Busch. Cole Custer on the outside. Looks like Newman's on the outside up there also. So this is the time for Johnson to go. Blaney just got around Kyle Busch. Busch trying to get to the bottom in front of Johnson. It was close. Jimmy kind of drove it in deep to get under him. Johnson gets Busch gets the drive off of the exit of the corner. Jimmy drives it in deep again, and boy, Busch got really loose. Wheel hopped the car in the center of the corner. Johnson can't capitalize, and now here comes Kyle Busch underneath the 41 of Cole Custer, and Keselowski gets right back at Jimmy Johnson. Look at how deep Keselowski drove it into turn 1. Oh, Johnson just stuffs it in there underneath the 41 of Custer. Really tried to outbrake Keselowski to get around him. A little bump and run action there by Johnson. Jimmy now looking to get underneath the 12 of Blaney. Not quite. Blaney's still staying side by side with Kyle Busch right now. Just got to be patient in a 500 lap race, especially here at Martinsville. A little bit slower lap times despite a tad bit shorter track than Bristol. Very flat half mile. And lap traffic obviously will be a factor all day long. Junior Car 17, welcome to the stream. So last Cup race you're going to be... Oh, wow, Keselowski just drove right underneath of Johnson. Jimmy trying to get right back under him again. A little contact. Jimmy Johnson, you can see that power slide he had in the center of the corner. They made contact. Suarez able to get around both of them. Johnson trying to cross that 96 car over. Oh, still 3 wide and tight off of turn 4. Suarez gets out of the gas. Look how deep Johnson drives it in. Oh, contact. He went way up the hill. Look at how loose he got. Corner exit trying to power down. Suarez now puts the bump and run onto Jimmy Johnson. Constant back and forth moving early in the race. Classic short track action. You can really feel that rear wheel spin off the exit of these corners. The idea of the first 350 laps of this race is to just survive. The final 150 laps is when you can go hard and try to battle for the win. A lot of hard racing early on by both non-playoff drivers and playoff drivers. Jimmy keeps trying to go high to arc the corner off, but he's giving up the inside, and Bubba Wallace taking advantage of it there, but we've seen Suarez, Keselowski a couple times trying to take advantage of Jimmy, starting the corner high, kind of trying to finish low, just like he ran that line at Phoenix. That seems to be a good line on these flatter short tracks. Jimmy can get a better drive off on the top side. He just can't get into the corner that well. Now he's going to cross over Bubba Wallace because he's going to try to get to the inside, but he bounces off the curb and he's not able to stay underneath the 43. Oh, man, Johnson. Way up the racetrack, into the side of the 43, now to the inside of Blaney once again. And he bobbled up the hill a little bit, got out of the gas early. He let Chase Elliott go. They were 3 wide. He was stuck in the middle, not where he wanted to be. Ducked back down to the bottom, and boy, Ty Dillon got really loose way up there off of turn 2. It's a guessing game of when to get back in the gas, especially when you have somebody in front of you. And look at that rear wheel spin by Johnson off of turn 4. Jimmy sends it. Oh, it's a little contact with his teammate Elliott, a 2-for-1 special. And Keselowski followed right on up through there. And look at Suarez running that protective line, trying to make sure Johnson doesn't get to his inside into the corner. Jimmy gained on him a ton there. He might have a shot to get under him anyway off of turn 4. Should say into 3. Can't get the power down to quite clear these guys necessarily right now, but I'm not sure exactly when the next Cup stream is for NASCAR Heat 5. Again, we're going to be doing a lot of Xfinity races, and we'll also be starting that NASCAR Thunder 2004 series next week, so it's kind of tough to say. Johnson passed Suarez the last lap, and now he's going for Jimmy Johnson, or sorry, for Kyle Busch this lap. All over the back bumper of Johnson. Or is Johnson. And right as he moves up the hill again, there goes Keselowski. I think he's got a fast car because he has gotten past Johnson a few times now, but he can't quite clear Kyle Busch. And now Johnson ducks to the inside of Keselowski, trying to use it up a little bit. They both clear Kyle Busch. And Brad's like, what do I have to do to stay in front of this 48 car? Because that is the 3rd time now they have traded positions back and forth. Johnson clears him off of turn 2. Phil Johnson's car slowly coming in. There's a little bit more rear wheel spin, but you can really see just a little bit better corner exit speed, even with that rear wheel spin. Ty Dillon's car is definitely not handling well. Look at that 3 wide pass Johnson made that time. The lap car of Brendan Gaughan was in the way. Jimmy missed turn 3. He tried to arc it up high, but not that high. Look at the power slide. Barely able to get down in front of Chase Elliott into turn 1. Elliott uses a bump and run maneuver. Johnson clips the wall off of turn 2 in the aftermath of it. Right now for a lot of these guys. Shane Pinckney, welcome to the stream.
Still there. Got a car coming inside now.
That was a good job by Johnson to arc the corner that time. He barely stayed in front of Keselowski, and Hamlin kind of staying to the outside of Brad himself here.
Inside.
Oh, man, and Jimmy tried to arc the corner off, but Keselowski drove in there at the last second. A little bit of a mistake there by Johnson. We're just 2 together right now. After starting mid-pack, that kind of costed Jimmy. Big bounce off the curb.
Still there.
Oh, Hamlin to the back of Johnson. Oh, and he just got under him. Jimmy looked to block him off there. Sure, he didn't appreciate that bump, especially as Johnson was already to the inside of a lap car. Alex Bowman needs a solid run here today. That 88 car, 27th place finish at Phoenix, one of his better racetracks. Not good. He comes in 13 points below the cutoff line, and he does not want to have to go into Talladega needing to gain points or possibly even win, depending on what happens with the other playoff drivers today. We'll see if we'll get another driver to clinch themselves into the championship 4 with a win. Just heavy amount of lap traffic up here. It's tough to tell which lane to run and which lane is faster right now. Yeah, the reason why we're starting as early as we are today, the Indy 500 and the NASCAR Cup Series is on later today. I know those are 2 can't-miss races, so I'm definitely gonna watch them both from start to finish. Big day of racing, so that's why we had to get this one out a little earlier. I don't know how Johnson didn't even make contact with Elliott there. He was coming in hot. Oh, but he does get him on corner exit. A little tap from behind from Alex Bowman kind of straightened him out. I believe they stacked up behind us after that. Caution is out. Had to have been a wreck after Johnson about lost it there. Caution's out for the first time today at lap 34. Gonna watch the Dover race that I did early in the season. Yeah, that was a pretty good race, if I remember right. So nobody gonna pit here. That's pretty interesting this far into the run. It's not a real long ways. Well, we gotta kind of play around with some of the strategy, I would have to assume. Oh my goodness, Johnson just completely spun his tires on the restart. And he's gonna lose a few spots at least. That was not pretty at all.
Still there?
Custer going to get to the inside of Johnson now. Jimmy just kind of got a little tight. He did clear Elliott, but...
Got a car low now.
Look at that power slide. Johnson able to beat Custer into the corner as well as Ty Dillon. Kevin Harvick gets really loose corner exit off of turn 2 there. Johnson driving it in deep, a little off the curbing, gonna cost him. Not really, he still gets a good drive off. He's gonna get to the inside of Harvick for 11th. He also cleared Ty Dillon. Right then and there, 4th position also. Johnson up to 11th. Oh, he got back in the gas a little too soon. A little too soon for Johnson to get back into the gas there.
Hold your line, got one inside.
Tough to tell. Bubba Wallace about used the bumper on Custer there. Man, you can really see that rear end of the car sliding out for Johnson.
Inside.
I wasn't doing that up until about lap 20 to 25. Wow. Handling of this 48 car is just not there.
Hold your line, got one outside. You got room, you're clear.
But as mentioned, first 350 laps of this race is survival. If you make it to that point, you still got a decent race car. You can go for the win the final 150 laps. So running 13th right now is not upsetting at all. Still got a long ways to go. We might have some guys in front of us too that could wreck themselves out. We haven't had a super long green flag run yet, which I think could help the 48 out. As long as he gets through lap traffic pretty well today. quite... He can get to the power... And he could get on the throttle earlier by running that higher line. He just doesn't have the grip in the rear tires. And there's a bump and run by Harvick. Got to the inside. Couldn't quite complete the pass, though. But he's got the best opportunity to get around him. But Johnson just really good on corner exit. At least the speed. And he's going to allow himself to get right back underneath Harvick. And he passed him in one corner, too. Almost like a slide job at Martinsville there. Jimmy doing everything he can to hold on to this race car. You got to hope he's going to make it to the end of the race. Oh, contact way up ahead. Bowman tries to move Bubba Wallace. It's like the speed is increasing in the 48 car, the handling's decreasing. Ooh, big bounce off the curb. It's going to stay to the inside of Hamlin. Will contact. Should be a drinking game for every time we hear contact at Martinsville, because we're going to hear it a lot today. We already have a few times. Johnson gets right back around Hamlin. CW2288, welcome to the stream. I did see that setup there that you put in there called. Oh, man. I think Jimmy would be lying if he said this car wasn't a handful. Cautions out again, second time today, lap 56. We had 11 cautions in the race yesterday. We have a lot of cars pitting behind us. Free pass will go to Eric Jones in 31st. Looks like everybody from 21st on back is going to pit. Jimmy Johnson's going to hit pit road also. Looks like Tyler Reddick is going to hit pit road. 4 seconds of damage, so Johnson can repair that. It's under the 5-second damage policy, so there's the adjustment. Whoa, almost went the wrong direction on the wedge there. Going to tighten it up one round. Bump up the air pressure in the right sides. Left rear. So adjustments being made by Johnson. Pound of air pressure up on the right sides and the left rear, and then the round of wedge added into the car, help tighten it up. Man, and he spins his tires again, restarting right in the center of the corner like he did the last time, and that's why Johnson's just not got the handling on the restarts, but he's got the fresh tires now, and he's got to go. It looks like everybody from about 20th on back has 4 fresh Goodyears. Johnson lost a few spots on pit road on top of losing the spots by just pitting in general from that 15th position. Little up the racetrack there. Got the good drive off, though. Get by Stenhouse. He's right back to the bottom now. Where he wants to be. That was a huge shot. 4 wide off of turn 4. Nobody wanted to give. Almirola and Johnson got squeezed in the middle. Johnson bounced off the curb to put him in that spot, and Ricky Stenhouse took it to the inside. Little side draft. Oh, Johnson in the gas too early, in the wall off of turn 2. Turn 4, rather. Johnson got to get right back around Stenhouse. Seems like he can grip the bottom a little easier, but the top side on the short run, you just can't run it. Just a little too tight to run the top. Turns 3 and 4 might seem a little easier too than 1 and 2 as far as the car being tight or loose. Seems like the grip level's a lot better in the drive off of turn 4 as he clears Clinton Boyer for position now. Good drive off of turn 2 again. Johnson drives it in deep. Another good drive off of turn 4 though. Man, he made that work about as perfect as he could. And he's going to clear Custer off of turn 2. Johnson moving his way through the field. Again, the fresher tires. I'm surprised that more of the leaders didn't come down onto pit road with about 60 laps on their tires. That'll work out for Johnson. And that's something Johnson needs too. He just needs track position. He's been stuck just outside the top 10 all day. If we can restart up towards the front of the field and kind of hold, I think we can hold our own. I mean, we hit our marks pretty well. Michael McDowell with a stellar run right now in 13th. One of the drivers that hit pit road, Ryan Blaney, also hit pit road. Kind of following him up here. Johnson drove it in deep. Oh, little contact with McDowell. Little bump and run action. He's going to get around him. Ty Dillon trying to cross over Blaney still. Rate the car 1 out of 10. It was about a 4 out of 10 before the pit stop. I mean, with the fresh tires on it, even at the very beginning of the run, when I had fresh tires on the car, we gained like 6 spots in those first, like 3 or 4 laps. But after about 20 laps, it just got really loose on us. I couldn't quite get the power down as early as I wanted to. I think we've got speed in the car. We just got to get the handling right, so I can actually get back in the gas when I want to. Like right now, we can't get back in the gas early enough on the outside. We're still a little loose or a little tight on the outside. Holding our own though is Matt DiBenedetto, who almost won the race at Phoenix and pulled off a major upset in the playoffs. As a non-playoff driver on Johnson yesterday, they battled well to the finish. Johnson got a really good drive off of turn 4. He clears DiBenedetto. He's coming in hot, and he about wipes out his teammate, Alex Bowman. And DiBenedetto's just going to slide right on through. Big run into turn 3. Johnson going for 10th now on DiBenedetto. Johnson just completely overran that corner a couple laps ago. Johnson trying to beat DiBenedetto back to the gas, and he clears him. Little contact, though, in the process of clearing him. Johnson was determined to get around him right then and there. He saw how much room is open ahead of him. Had to take the opportunity. If he can get around Kurt Busch, he's got a ton of room to run and really get a feel for the car. We just got to get it good on the long run, because the short runs, we're fast. Before the adjustment, we were fast, and with the adjustment, we're still fast on the short run. It's just, and it's really hard to tell if we're faster on this short run versus the last because we have fresh tires. Because we got up to about 12th, 13th Now we're going for 9th on Kurt Busch. We're going to clear him off of 4, but again, the top 18 to 20 cars were all on older tires on the restart. Fast cars are going to be fast with that advantage on the restart. Track position so huge at Martinsville. It's so hard to pass, so tight in the corners. Shortest track that the Cup Series races on. 5.26 mile racetrack. Just a tad bit shorter than Bristol. Both listed at a half mile, but a little bit slower, a little bit longer. I mean, you can see, you back it down to about 55, 60 miles an hour in the corners. You definitely have to have good braking because you hit almost 130 before you get to that braking zone. Right in the center of the corner. The car's really rolling well off the exit now. 21.02 that last lap. Johnson's got the open room. He can really arc the corners off well, and that's what you're seeing right now. Kind of starting off higher, starting off in the middle, getting out of the gas, get on the brakes perfectly, roll it down to the bottom, and he's getting a good drive off. He's got a little bit better grip. Kind of overdrove the corner just a hair there. Chase took a shot at him to the bottom, but look at the drive off. Chase is running into the corner a lot deeper than what Jimmy's running right now. But Jimmy gets a really good drive off by running this line he's running right now. He almost ran a 20 flat that last lap. Oh, he didn't get the car to rotate well that time. Perfect drive off of turn 2 there. Gained a lot on Joey Logano just in that half a lap alone. A little bit of a bounce off the curb, overdrove turn 3 just a slight bit. Which is a shame because he seems to be better in turns 3 and 4 than 1 and 2. Well, that open room around him is starting to close just a little bit. Heavy amount of lap traffic, not in the far distant future here for Jimmy Johnson. Ooh, he really missed the corner there. Here comes Elliott. Johnson couldn't arc the corner off quite like he wanted it to. Still got a decent drive off, but he couldn't arc it all the way to the bottom, and Chase gave him a shot there. They tried to give Johnson a bump and run right when he got to him. He sees the lap traffic, and he knows you better get around him quickly. Logano trying to work to the outside of the lap car. Johnson goes to the bottom of the lap car. Justin Haley about pinched him off there. 3 wide. Corner exit off of turn 4. Johnson going for 8th. Chase Elliott got around the lap traffic just as well as Johnson did. They both got around Joey Logano quickly. Johnson about 9.5 seconds off the lead, but he's not worried about it. He's in 8th place. Strictly trying to get more wins on his way out the door. It seems like just a little bit further into the run, Johnson's car's handling well. But we'll see if we get about a 70 or 80 lap green flag run. We'll have to wait and see how that handling will be. We do know if we do have a very long green flag run that the leaders are going to have to pit before, say, Jimmy Johnson and all those guys that pitted under that last caution. Johnson really drove it in deep. Oh, big bounce off the curb on the corner exit. If he didn't have that big bounce off the curb, I think he was going to get to the inside of Kyle Busch. Big run on him again in 1 and 2. Bush trying to get to the outside of Eric Jones, who was already a lap down.
Still there.
Johnson goes all the way to the top side. A risky move, and they're 3 wide, and Johnson should not have done that. Chase Elliott moves up to 7th. Johnson's still stuck on the top now, and he's got Bobby Carter right in front of him holding him up. So Johnson's going to lose about 2 or 3 spots. Trying to cross over Ty Dillon. A little bit of a bump. Oh, Blaney gives Johnson a bump at the same time. And Blaney's going to get to the inside of Jimmy. DiBenedetto trying to follow through. Johnson got a great drive off of turn 2. He's going to get back to the inside of the 12.
Got a car high now. Still there. You got room. You're clear there. Stay low.
Elliott for 7th. Definitely see more rear wheel spin out of Johnson's car. Johnson drove it in really hard into 3 that time. Trying to keep that 21 from using the bumper. He's still got a good drive off of turn 4 despite driving it in deep. Johnson a little tight on entrance. Into turn 1 there. Look at that power slide. Trying to stay in the gas. He never lifted. Drives it himself and now gets to the inside of Austin Dillon, so he's in the clear. As long as he can get around Dillon somewhat quickly, hopefully through 1 and 2, he should be able to clear him. A lot of pressure from Matt DiBenedetto. Matt loves these 750 horsepower racetracks. Low downforce. And DiBenedetto uses the bumper. He's going to get around him, and he looked to run a protective lower line there, but he just couldn't quite do it. Johnson got pinched off. Johnson absolutely sends it into the next corner. Trying to use a little bump and run. Oh, man, heavy contact off of turn 4. 21 to 48 driving hard right now as they battle for 9th, and a little more contact. Johnson just can't clear him. Man. Clear. Benedetto tried to cross him over back down to the bottom. Johnson knew it. That's why he hugged that curbing in turns 1 and 2. And as they battle, they have completely lost Chase Elliott. And Elliott's starting to lose Kyle Busch himself also. Johnson's still about 9.5 seconds off the lead. Just over 100 laps in here at Martinsville today. Late morning hours on the East Coast. Johnson's car a little bit tight on entrance, but a little bit loose on exit. Just needs a better roll into the corner as these tires have gotten older and older. But I think what he needs to play out, he doesn't need another caution. He needs this race to play green, knowing that a lot of these guys are going to have to pit 50 to 60 laps before he does. And if we get a caution after that, before Johnson has to hit pit road himself, that is going to be huge for the 48. And that's going to be really costly for a lot of those drivers in the top 10 that are in the playoffs. That was a great drive off that time by Johnson. Started high, finished low, really drove away from DiBenedetto off of turn 4. Oh, man. And again, that just goes to add to it. This car is very tight on entrance, very loose on exit. Johnson's car is all over the place, and he's having a tough time trying to stay in front of DiBenedetto. He's doing as good of a job as he can. the 7-time champ, will be going for an 8th title here in a couple races. No practice is definitely hurting Johnson in this race today. Benedetto gonna slide right on past. Oh, Jimmy is in the wall off of turn 2. Tried not to overcorrect it, and he did it for the 2nd time this season. He's gonna DNF at Martinsville. Caution's out for the 3rd time today, just over 100 laps in. He was having a tough time those last 5 laps trying to hang on to the race car. Oh, man. And it's a good thing he got that win at Phoenix and fought DiBenedetto hard, because if he did not win at Phoenix, this would be a whole different scenario going into Talladega. And he will not be able to tie David Pearson for 2nd all-time on the wins list, because he had to win out to do it. Well, I guess we're going to have to do another stream. Wasn't expecting to, but we're going to have to now. Well, we got to take a look at the finishing results here first. Tough finish for Jimmy Johnson at Martinsville, and a tough season at Martinsville in general, DNFing in both races. Talladega, of course, the next race in this round. We'll take a look at the finishing results. The Blue Emu, maximum pain relief, 500. There you see Jimmy Johnson DNFing in this one. Fortunate turn of events, 3 cautions, just over 100 laps into the race. Johnson brings out the 3rd. Spins off of turn 2. Loose to the inside, overcorrected it to the outside wall. William Byron gets the win from the pole here today. Had to have led the most laps. He was dominant early on. Bubba Wallace with a surprise 2nd place finish. Chase Elliott 3rd. Kyle Busch, the highest running playoff driver. He finishes 4th. Martin Truex Jr. 5th. Kenseth 6th. Newman, another playoff driver, in 7th. Brad Keselowski, another playoff driver, in 8th. Newman was that last driver in on points coming into the race. So a good top 10 run for the 2nd race to start off this round of 8. Cole Custer 9th and Tyler Reddick, 2 rookies in the top 10. So back-to-back top 10s for those 2 rookies. Denny Hamlin 13th of another playoff driver. Bowman 17th, not a good run. He needed to pick up the pace after finishing 27th at Phoenix. He did slightly, but not good enough. He is going to have to likely win at Talladega. Clinton Boyer 18th. Another playoff driver who needed a good run, and he did not have one, at least one that he was looking for. Joey Logano, 24th. A terrible run today at Martinsville for him. Man, oh man. And that is it for all the playoff drivers here. All the drivers in the round of 8. Well, I'm going to have to calculate the points here, so it looks like we're going to have to end the stream, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll do either an Xfinity or a truck race. I'm not sure exactly what to do yet. That is Jimmy Johnson's 4th DNF in the playoffs. That is his 6th DNF all season. But again, at least he got the win at Phoenix, because if he didn't, he'd be in a very, very tough scenario going into Talladega in the next race. But luckily enough for him, so, yep, 6th DNF of the year for Johnson. 4th in the playoffs. Tough break for Jimmy. Very inconsistent is what the playoffs are showing. Only 2 wins to show for in the postseason so far. 4 top 10s, 8 races in, but nevertheless, he'll go for it at Talladega. Try to get another win to get some momentum rolling into Darlington for the Southern 500. So that is going to end it here today, as usual. For more daily NASCAR content such as these full race live streams with a realistic broadcast, hit the subscribe button down below for more daily NASCAR content. Greatly appreciate it there. Road to 1,000 subs. And hit the like button down below if you enjoyed the race, the commentary, the video in general. I'll see you guys here in a little bit. We'll do another race. Wasn't planning on doing a doubleheader today, but we did have just barely over 100 laps into the 500 lapper at Martinsville. I think we were literally only racing for like 25 minutes to a half hour, so we're definitely gonna get another race in here. So thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you in a few minutes.